rescuing animals with bare hands. We'll explain that next on City Corner. Hi, I'm Steve Potter. Welcome to City Corner. Bare Hands Rescue is the name of a show that recently premiered. We're going to hear all about that and how it started and what it's all about. I'd like you to welcome right now, from Wildlife Command Center, it is Mr. Michael Beran. Hi, Michael. Welcome.
Bare Hands Beran.
Bare Hands Beran.
That's right.
Was that your nickname before the show?
Yes, it was. Yeah, in my industry, I have been known to do a lot of animal rescues barehanded. And the name originally was a negative connotation, but I took it and ran with it, and I was like, I like my hands, and barehanded has good technique.
Well, see, I'd never even heard that whole bare hand rescue. I've never even heard of that. Has that been a term that's been used for a long time?
So it's very recently in the YouTube sector, very viral. Bare hands. There's a lady that rescues bees, honeybees, barehanded. Recently, there was a lady that rescued her 5-year-old child from a cougar, barehanded. There's also been a black bear trying to get someone's little pet dogs, and they barehandedly pushed the black bear over the fence. So the term bare hands has been recently very popular.
And so what's the whole point of doing all those things with your bare hands? Is that to not hurt the animals? Is that what the point is?
So for me, what it is when I capture an animal barehanded, then I can feel how much pressure I'm putting on that animal. You know, it's less stressful for the animal. You know, anytime you have to handle an animal, it's traumatic for the animal, especially a wild animal. The less trauma that we induce, the better the animal's chance of survival is once you release it.
And can it be dangerous? You're talking about a cougar and a bear?
Well, everything is dangerous. Anything that has a mouth can bite, so you know, you've got to be aware of that. Certainly, there is a lot of equipment and what we consider personal protective equipment in the industry, and there are tools to use, and you should use them. However, sometimes the moment doesn't allow you time to get a tool, and you need to be very skillful in how you're going to use your bare hands, or not at all.
So do people just call you up for that reason? I mean, you're in the one ads under animal rescue or something?
Well, it's under wildlife control, you know. Certainly people have crisis with wildlife, and there's an animal inside their house preventing them from using their house the way they normally do. And so we come out and we try to help resolve that conflict.
I had a friend, and this is the truth, just like about a week ago, it was a raccoon in their garage, and they had the hardest time getting it out.
Right, and so you have to imagine, most people don't want to deal with that raccoon, and also they shouldn't. I mean, raccoons carry rabies, you know, that's a rabies vector.
They can be strong.
And they're strong, and they have very sharp teeth. And so you may not be able to get to your car, you may not be able to get to work, you may be losing money, so there's that economic impact.
We've got a lot to talk about. But let me point out a couple things. Bare Hands Rescue is the name of a show that just recently premiered on Animal Planet and Discovery Plus.
Correct.
And you are the star. It's all about you and your organization, Wildlife Command Center, which wasn't on my radar, but you've been in St. Louis for a while.
Yeah, we moved from Louisiana to St. Louis in 2014. It was a really good business decision because we have doubled in size every year since we moved here.
Why St. Louis?
You got great infrastructure, you got a wonderful airport that can get me anywhere I need to go, 3 major rivers that come through here, the Mississippi, the Merrimack, and the Missouri River. And so all these things add up to St. Louis as an excellent place for my kind of business.
Did you always think that? Were you familiar with St. Louis before, or was this something new?
No, me and my wife, our company outgrew the city we were in, Shreveport, Louisiana. We jumped in a car, me and my wife, and went driving. We went to Jacksonville, Florida. We went to Nashville, Tennessee. We went all the way up to Boston. And then we came back through Chicago, and then we hit St. Louis. When we drove through St. Louis, my wife was immediately enamored by the limestone outcroppings everywhere. She loved that. And so we started looking into it, and I was like, wow, these demographics here are excellent. The infrastructure, the way it's built out is just so good for business in the St. Louis area. And so we made the decision and moved everything to St. Louis.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Listen, Wildlife Command Center, that's your organization, is featured in this new show. The name of the show is Bare Hands Rescue, which is also, Bare Hands is your nickname too. We have a video, I guess it's the premiere of the show, we just want to share with our audience and kind of give them an idea of what that's about, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
The problem with coyotes is they're super unpredictable.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for calling Wildlife Command Center.
My name is Michael Beran.
Also known as Bare Hands Beran. We rescue people from wild animals, but we also rescue the animals from the situation that they've gotten themselves into.
My dad's approach to wildlife management can be considered a little bit more wild.
Working barehanded is just easier on the animal.
Working with my son Chance, working with a lot of dedicated technicians, it's just really special.
We're going to be able to release this guy. He's going to be just perfect.
That's why I wake up every morning excited to start a brand new adventure. Whoops. And I wouldn't trade this job for anything in the world.
That looks pretty interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
Michael Beran is our guest, and he's the star of the show, Bare Hands Rescue. And it's amazing, well, just in that little clip, all the different kind of animals you deal with. Some are kind of cute.
Yep. The squirrels, they're very cute. However, they can really tear up a house.
Well, how do you make money doing this? I mean, people just call you, and like, if, you know, people call a repairman when their refrigerator breaks. Is it the same kind of deal?
So we are a service industry. You know, we come out and people are in crisis. They have a wildlife conflict, and we resolve that conflict, and then they reward us monetarily.
All right. How did this TV show for you ever come about? There's a gentleman by the name of Michael Francis who is in St. Louis, and I know he has a production company. Tell me about him.
Yeah, Michael Francis Presents. That's the name of his company. And Michael Francis is just an incredible individual. He's one of those rare people that can keep every single promise. Like everything he's ever told me, he was able to do and produce.
Wow.
He is a producer. But he searches out interesting people that do interesting things, and then he packages that, and then he sells that package to a company like Critical Content or No Coast Originals, and then they take it and they produce it for Animal Planet or A&E or some of these bigger networks, bigger platforms.
So how did you hook up with him?
Well, I have tried getting a reality TV show for my company for a couple of different years.
Really?
I tried in 2016, failed, rejected. I tried in 2018, failed, rejected. You know, if you want a national TV show, expect to get rejected a lot because there's a lot of rejection involved. But in 2020, Michael Francis approached me. He said, "Man, this is a great concept." I went to a couple of seminars with him, and I was like, well, I really want to just do better YouTube on my YouTube channel. And he's like, well, let me ride with you to see what you're doing. He rode with me. He goes, I'm not interested in your YouTube channel. He goes, this is a TV show. And so we went down that path, and you know, we put together a sizzle reel. He packaged it. He took it to Los Angeles to 5 or 6 different places. Critical Content is the company that picked it up, and then they produced it and sold it to Animal Planet. And then of course Animal Planet said, hey, we want this bigger, and so they brought Discovery Plus in.
Wow. So is this what you were doing on your YouTube channel?
Yes, my YouTube channel, I've got a variety type of YouTube channel. We have ringtail lemurs that we rescue, and so we do some snack tasting with them. I do some ride-along stuff. I do some animal rescue things. And it's kind of a variety YouTube channel. It's very kid-friendly. You know, there's nothing gross or crazy on it. But just everything that has anything to do with wildlife, we work through wildlife problems, wildlife issues, And then there's some fun things like rescues where we actually get to turn the animal loose. You know, it may be stuck somewhere where it's going to die. We come in, we get it out, we rescue it, and we turn it loose. Those are always fun. You know?
Gee, but how do we find your YouTube channel?
So the YouTube channel is the name of the company, Wildlife Command Center. You know, so Wildlife Command Center YouTube channel, Facebook, Wildlife Command Center, Instagram, Wildlife Command Center. Tried to keep it simple.
Well, with Michael Francisson, I mean, how did it really happen? Did you pitch him an idea, or did he notice you? Did he notice your YouTube channel?
So he actually, I met him face to face in a seminar where we were learning how to do lighting, because you know, in cameras, TV, lighting's everything, and I started telling him these stories about what we're doing. He's like, ah, man, that sounds too crazy to be true. He goes, let me ride along with you and see what you really do. He rode with me for one day. He saw what I really do. And at the end of the day, he goes, man, he goes, not YouTube. He goes, this is so much more than YouTube. He goes, this is a TV show. He goes, would you mind if we create a sizzle reel and I promote it to a couple of production companies? And I was like, yeah. So he took it and he actually packaged it in something that is sellable to a production company, took it to 5 or 6 different places in Los Angeles, and Critical Content's where it landed. Critical Content is a company that actually produces for Animal Planet. And so we produced a pilot. We took the pilot to Animal Planet. They were like, yeah, fix this, fix that. You know how editing is. And then the next thing you know, we premiere it August the 22nd, this past month.
How exciting was that for you?
It was pretty exciting. We actually went downtown St. Louis to the NPR Center, between that plaza between the
Public Commons.
Yes, the Public Commons. And we were at capacity with that premiere. We had big screen was going, we had the animals out there, we had animal balloons and the step and repeat, and we had a great time. There was a lot of people. And then we captured a lot of traffic, just people walking by going, what's that? And we're like, come on in.
We need to take a break, Michael, but when we come back, I want to talk more specifically about your shows and what's in it and all the fun you're having. How about that?
I'm ready.
Michael Beran is our guest. We're talking about Bare Hands Rescue, and we'll have more after this.
The Missouri Botanical Garden is loved by green thumbs and non-gardening types alike because you can play. You can relax. And there's always something new to experience, no matter the time of day or the season. And learn about conservation and one-of-a-kind plants. So come and experience St. Louis.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Selfie. Nailed it.
What I love about St. Louis is the 79 unique neighborhoods nestled into 108 city parks, including Forest Park, which is actually larger than Central Park in New York, and of course, the beautiful Tower Grove Park where I'm at now. Oh, the St. Louis Blues. We've got the St. Louis Surge, 2-time WBCBL champions. We've got Harris Stowe, WashU, St. Louis University, and of course, the 11-time World Series champion, St. Louis Cardinals. So come experience St. Louis.
I'm Steve Potter. Welcome back to City Corner. Michael Beran is our guest. He's a St. Louis guy who's starring in a show on Animal Planet Discovery. The first episode just premiered recently. And Michael, the name of the show is Bare Hands Rescue. But it's still streaming. People can still see this, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Discovery Plus has anchored it. So it will be on Discovery Plus forever.
All right. Now, the organization that is yours here in St. Louis is Wildlife Command Center. Mm-hmm. And again, just briefly, tell us what you do. You're actually helping people who have situations with trapped wild animals.
Right, and the way I like to say it is I rescue people every day from wild animals, mostly barehanded, if it's appropriate. But people call us up in crisis and they have a raccoon on their kitchen counter and they need to get ready to go for work. So they'll call us, we'll come in, wrangle the raccoon, figure out how it got in there, where did it breach the house, where did it get in, was it through the attic or what? And then we'll clean up any raccoon poop, we'll repair any raccoon damage, and then we can also do preventative maintenance to make sure another raccoon doesn't come along and do the same thing.
I guess people are glad to see you.
Yes, that's one thing I love about my job, definitely, is my customers. All of our customers love us, and we love them, and I get to be the hero every single day.
Well, Wildlife Command Center, that whole type of business is new to me. Are you the only one in town? Are there more of these kind of businesses than I know about?
So in the St. Louis area, we actually have 53 operators that do what I do or something similar.
No kidding.
Now, a lot of pest control companies do offer a wildlife service. However, we're one of the few that do it from what we consider the starting point all the way to prevention, you know? And so there's an animal intrusion, we'll come out and figure out what's happening, and then we'll figure out all the steps along the way to animal-proof your house so it doesn't happen again.
Bare Hands Rescue is the name of the show, and we have some images to look at. Why don't we look at 3 here, and you can just tell me what we're looking at.
All right. Well, you know, every office needs a kangaroo to keep things hopping, and this is Tyson, baby kangaroo. He was born out of a herd down in DeSoto, and the mother kangaroo had twins. They can rarely support twins, and so he was pulled and he was started on a bottle, and then we got him when he was a little bit older. He was about 6 inches long when we got him. He is a giant red kangaroo, and one day he'll be taller than me.
Wow, they're cute when they're little like that.
Yeah, they are pretty cute.
Let's look at the next one here.
So this is my son Chance.
And he's in the show, right?
He is in the show. He's the one that's closest to me there with the longer black hair. And then this is one of my technicians, Tim. Tim is our rough and tumble. He is our country boy. Chance is more finesse and strategic and thought processes. But right here, we just found out that the animal that they called us about is actually a coyote that's in the garage. And we're trying to figure out what to do because, one, we don't want to turn the coyote loose back in the neighborhood because coyotes are responsible for 95% of missing pets. Oh, coyotes eat pets on a regular basis. And so we're trying to figure out how to keep the coyote from jumping through the window. That's what we're really worried about here.
Let's look at one more.
So magpies, a species of bird that we don't have in the St. Louis area. This was actually filmed in my Reno, Nevada office. And magpies are a phenomenal bird. They are in the COVID family. And I'm looking at its tail. I'm trying to figure out if this guy is healthy and able to be released, and he is. His tail's a little jacked up just from being inside of a house, but other than that, he's healthy, and we were able to release him.
Well, Michael, you make this look like fun, and it looks really cute and everything, but there's got to be a little danger at times. I mean, don't you get hurt once in a while?
The number one item I have in my first aid kit is Bleed Stop. Really, I'm not even kidding. We also get special Band-Aids. Our Band-Aids are designed, they're called Bleed Stop Band-Aids, because working with wild animals, working with anything that has a mouth, you are going to get bit. And human flesh, human skin, we are so soft. We are such a soft creature that it doesn't take much to cut us open. You know?
I bleed when I mow the grass.
Most of us bleed just working around the house.
Hey, listen, we saw a couple of pictures of your son, Chance, and then Tim, who's on your team. There are a couple other people that were in the premiere also, though.
Correct,
right?
Yep, my wife was in there, Jennifer was in there. Also, we had UB and Matt out of our Reno office. Then we had Viante and Chris out of our Sacramento office. So yeah, we got a pretty good team.
Well, the premiere of Bare Hands Rescue. How long is it? And give me a little synopsis.
Okay, so the show, the pilot, is 44 minutes long with commercials. It's about an hour. It's very, very entertaining. Like, most people are engaged. The production company did a great job of like putting cliffhangers in there, you know? So we really like that. But mostly it is us rescuing people from wild animals, mostly barehanded, and trying to resolve an animal conflict, a wildlife conflict, and figuring out a way to do it so that both the homeowner wins and the animal wins.
And do you do background, like do you explain how the animal got there, or do you talk about the people whose house it is? Do you do that?
I do that a lot, yeah. I like to explain what's happening. I like to explain how we got here. And then I love to explain some type of biology about the animal and why the animal is acting the way it is acting.
Let's look at 3 more images.
Okay.
From your production, and you can explain.
Yep, absolutely. So here I am talking to Tim, and we are trying to figure out the best strategy for the next call that we got in. We've got a squirrel in a fireplace and the dangers of that, and how the squirrel is going to die. There's no two ways about that. And if we don't rescue it, it's going to be a bad situation for the squirrel.
Let's look at the next one.
So this is one of the great parts about my job is an animal that's healthy, and in Missouri, I have permission to release this animal on this landowner's property. That's one of the key things in Missouri. You have to have written permission from the landowner. And so here we're going to release this male raccoon, and it's going to be a happy ending. He can run around and be raccoony and go find a raccoon girlfriend.
All right, one more.
All right, so we have pets that we do birthday parties with. And believe it or not, rats are often, people love them.
Listen, I believe you
know?
because for a couple of years, about 15 years ago, I had some pet rats, and they are great pets.
They're amazing. This particular rat, he is the father of most of our sewer rats. We have a division of our company called Wildlife Command Center Movie Animals, and we provide animals for the movie industry in different areas. I breed these rats to look like sewer rats. They've got no white on them. They're all brown, and they look pretty scary when you get a couple of them together.
Well, in addition for you starring the show about your business and what you do, you're an actor also.
Yes, I do a lot of acting. The acting really came from, I started taking acting classes because I wanted to present better for my YouTube channel. I wanted to have control of my facial expressions and my body language and just do a better job of presenting. And I don't know, I started doing a few auditions, and then a couple of gigs came in, and then I train animals for the movie industry. I was kind of in it anyway. Next thing you know, I got 47 feature credits, and we're just doing all kinds of movies.
Maybe you'll end up in a soap opera someday.
I don't know. That's hard. Soap operas are hard. Even what you do is hard.
You think?
You know, coming off with the cuff like you do, yeah, it's difficult.
I don't think you'd have any trouble with that. Let me ask you about your business, Wildlife Command Center, which is what Bare Hands Rescue is based on. I understand you kind of, besides just rescuing animals, you sort of use it as a rehabilitation center, and I think you have some like permanent residents?
Yes, so we do have a facility down in Imperial. We've got an acre of land and a 4,000 square foot block building. And some animals, like Missouri has a rule that you cannot release an invasive species. You cannot release a non-native species into Missouri. So if I capture a non-native species or an invasive species, then I can't release that. I have to either euthanize it or I have to find another home for it. Somewhere along the line, a few years ago, we rescued a pair of ringtail lemurs. And since that time, now we have 10 ringtail lemurs. And they are non-human primates. They come from Madagascar, just like King Julian in the cartoon Madagascar. They're just delightful creatures. However, They have some habits that are not real conducive to being good pets. So.
Like what? you know I'm going to ask.
Well, if you've ever heard that expression, leaping lemurs, you know, these guys can jump from the ground 12 feet in just one bound.
Wow.
You know? And so they're high energy, they're very excitable, and so you need a very large enclosures for them.
What's the animal? It's been in the news last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. It's been, I get my animals mixed up. It's been slowly migrating up from the south, and they've seen them in Missouri. Is that what it is? But I thought it was some sort of bobcat too.
Well, we've always had bobcats, yeah, but it's armadillos you're speaking of. So in the South, the deep South where I'm from, armadillos are a nuisance that you just deal with daily. Like armadillos are everywhere. However, this far up north, it really is too cold for armadillos to survive the winter time. But as human encroachment comes, one of the things that we do is we love our lawns. And so when they build out a subdivision, they bring a lot of topsoil in. When they bring that much topsoil in, the armadillos can dig down below the cold freeze line and they can overwinter. And so now armadillos are moving north and they can survive the winters because they have plenty of topsoil to dig down into.
Well, Michael, Bare Hands Rescue is the show that's premiered. Now, do you have other episodes planned?
Yep, so we've got some more episodes coming, but we're trying to bring the whole production to the St. Louis area. And to get that done, we need people to watch the show, Bare Hands Rescue. You can watch it on Animal Planet Go, which is free. You can watch it on Animal Planet website, which is free. And then Discovery Plus has a 7-day trial period, and you can watch it on Discovery Plus. I'll warn you though, Discovery Plus has some really good programming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, once you get into Discovery Plus, you're probably going to end up keeping it.
And Michael Francis Presents, which is the gentleman, the company that put your show together and produced it and everything, he's kind of actively looking for other topics that could be based here locally, right?
Yeah, one of the great things about Michael Francis is he is always looking to produce something else.
I've got to stop you there. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but give him our regards, and we'll look for Bare Hands Rescue and continued success with that. It's a fascinating story.
Thank you.
It's streaming on Discovery and Animal Planet. I want to thank Michael Beran for being our guest today from Wildlife Command Center here in St. Louis. I'm Steve Potter. That's all the time we have for City Corner. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.